Hey, what's up, gang? It is Adam from the CommanderSmiths, and this is Searching for the Spotlight, Edgin Part 2. I did Part 1 last night, and I slept on things. I thought about things. I did some gold fishing, and there's a lot of changes that happened from last night to tonight, or today, tonight, whatever. It's 5. It's about night. It's not. I'm not late. Oh, you know what?
A wizard
I was
is
waiting
never
for you to
late.
say that, and I was
Nor
going to
is
hit
he
it.
early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Okay, so here's a couple changes. So we're not going to go through the whole deck like we did last night. That's part ones are always the first 30 to 45 minutes. Hey, what's up, Jesus? Is going through the deck and showing you the possibilities for how to build the deck, and then making cuts after that. So today, if you remember last night, I decided, okay, so one thing here, the blueprint, I will leave this up, but Lair made a good point. We were chatting back and forth, or actually, I think you put it on the stream last night. You really don't go by the blueprint that we have for this deck because you have 25 or whatever of a certain card. So it kind of, you can't stick with the numbers because you have 25 of a certain card there. So I have it there so you guys can see it, but I'm not going to necessarily go off of that. I do have mine pulled up for myself. Just get an idea. I started at 5 o'clock. The timer was going. I didn't officially show my face until 5:01, Renshai. No, Malort. Not. It's 4:20. It's not that kind of day. It's not a drinking day. It's a other kind of day. And I'm not on that right now. Okay, so last night, if you remember, I was debating of going one of two directions because I had to kind of eliminate something. You could either go meat force, which is having a lot of bodies, or multiplying the damage. Now, I did have last night the multipliers up here. These were in there still, but like having things like gutter snipe or thermal alchemist and electrostatic field, those I cut and put in the sideboard. After Hitler's birthday, it is today as well. After I goldfished it a bunch, the thing I was running into was I would get cards like this, Dose into Perfection, or I never got Chrome Host Seed Shark, which I love this card so much, but I don't think it's going to work in here. This one got stuck in my hand. The benefit of the 1/1s coming out just wasn't enough. Like even goldfishing, I'm like, I never wanted to cast these because it wasn't going to do a big enough difference. Whereas you throw a gutter snipe in there and you cast one Dragon's Approach and you're doing 5 damage to everybody. That's such a bigger advantage. And this also works with instants and sorceries of other spells. So I switched them out. I think Gelectrode was in there last night because I was a little bit of removal. There are a couple more ads I want to have in here that I took out or didn't think of and whatever. As you can see, last night I think we were down to 129. Now with things moving in and out, I'm back up to 134. I do have a lot that I'm going to cut that I wrote down, so I prepped a little bit ahead of time so you guys don't have to deal with me hemming and hawing for 2 hours because I do want to get this done in a nice little package of probably an hour at the most, but we'll see. So one thing Lowry suggested, which is a great suggestion, I have this card, Chandra's Incinerator. This is in my Blanca deck because Blanca's doing mass damage around. So you cast one of the Dragon's Approach and this becomes 1 mana to come out. So it's really super cheap. But then the nice thing is whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage, which is what your Dragon's Approach is doing, it deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So it's a little bit of removal that I like built in on this. And I completely missed having this one in there. So that's a really good ad. That's definitely going to stay in. Another thing I wanted to make note of is Braid of Fire. Now, last night, you heard about my little packages. Yes, I'm a grower, not a shower. So Braid of Fire, I knew there was a reason why I wanted this in there. And when I was doing this last night, I was like, oh, dang, that doesn't work. I can't cast the Dragon's Approach because this is going to be on your upkeep and those are still sorcery and you can't cast those. The reason why this is actually in there is for the fortell part of things. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you do get an age counter on it, and then you get that much mana. The cool thing about fortell, let's pop up to our commander, is during your turn, you may pay 2 and exile it from your hand face down. So you can do this on your upkeep. As long as it's your turn. Oh, my phone is ringing. I thought I turned all that off. That's weird. I guess I didn't. No one else call me, please. That's dangerous because some people have my number that could be watching. But I can turn it off with my watch, so that's fine. So the fortell, as soon as it hits my turn, you're not casting it. It doesn't matter if it's a sorcery, if it's a planeswalker, if it's an artifact. I can fortell it, so I don't waste that mana. And that's when I was running the goldfish. What I end up doing a lot of times is paying the fortell, getting everything out of my hand, and then the next turn's casting those. So it's kind of setting it all up. In fact, I know I mentioned it last night. How unprofessional. Yeah, I normally put it, now if I go to grab my phone, it's gonna, whatever. Yeah, the phone, I didn't turn it off. What are you doing, Adam? Because I just got a voicemail and it just went on my watch. The cool thing is this app didn't eliminate the camera, which is the other app that I was using that I paid for. If the phone rang, it would shut the camera off. So that's kind of a little neat bonus. Anyways, so what I ended up doing is you're throwing everything out in fortell, and then your next turn you're able to. Oh, I know what I was saying. I ordered a thing off of Amazon that holds cards. It's for people that have arthritis or just don't have bad hands or whatever, or old and can't, or for kids. So I ordered these. It's a block that's elevated. It's like angled, and it has like 4 rows. And that's going to be my exile row. So instead of sticking it, or I was talking about last night, sticking everything face down and having to look at it, when I exile it, I'm just going to stick it straight up and just trust that no one's going to walk behind me and look at the cards that I have exiled. So there is that. That is the updates of stuff. Braid of Fire, damage multipliers, Chandra's, Incinerator. I did remove the Meat Force. So I already told you that. So now let's start going through and getting the cuts. There's a lot of cuts I got to do here. But like I said, I worked on this a little bit ahead of time, so this should be relatively easy until the last like 10 cuts. So let's get started. Fury Storm, when I was doing all this stuff, was one of the things that there is sometimes you're copying, you're multiplying that stuff. But really what you're trying to do is get your Dragon's Approach down, face down, exile, and casting them later for 1, and drawing. Because the thing I ran into is I was doing all, I am too trusting. That's why I'll sit in a corner when I put all my exiled cards up like that. So I'll put all my cards down, and then the problem I was having is running out of cards in my hand. So another little adjustment. I think I got rid of all my wheels yesterday, or all but 3 of them. I did add back in 2 more of the wheels. We might cut Wheel of Fate, but I kind of want Wheel of Misfortune in there because it does fit with the still doing the fortell stuff. Wheel of Fate, everybody's going to see it coming, so you can't really play along with it. So actually, I will cut Wheel of Fate right now. But now I have 4 wheels that I will work with. And these in the gold fishing were amazing. Like it really helped out. When I had it in the hand, I would just fortell. Even these, I'd fortell these out. So I didn't have a hand, and I'd Wheel of Fortune, get 7 new cards. Actually, one of the times I did it, I had Windfall, or Wheel of Fortune into Windfall. So I was able to do it. Oh, good for me.
Oh, good for
2
you.
times back to back, which was pretty sweet because then I foretelled a bunch of that shit, and that was pretty sweet. So, all right, so we got more wheels, and we're going to probably take a little bit more draw out because we added a wheel in there. Another thing I was going to get rid of is Locket of Yesterdays and Mind Splice Apparatus. Both are good for making your other spells, but what I was running into is I was foretelling everything. So these really weren't a factor. This is still a really good card because then you're foretelling for 1, and you're able to do it on other players' turns. But these 2 just don't make the cut. And all the stuff I'm going to be cutting now are going to sideboard because these made it this far. These are very close to coming back on if things aren't working out. No counter spells. You are going to be, I think, a little upset because I'll hit this right now. Ral, I like the card. I don't like that it's 1 damage to target opponent. I wish it was all opponents. I do like the copying the spells, but again, I'm kind of getting away from the copying. I did in the gold fishing, it worked. I did do it twice, but it wasn't as big of an effect as finding another spell to cast instead. So I am going to sideboard that one as well. Let's work from the top down to the bottom. So let me get back to that. Fury Storm, we're not going to do this one. That's the copying as well, but we're going to sideboard. Same with Reiterate. That one. Wild Ricochet is tough because it is very much like, what's its nuts? Deflecting SWAT in a way, but then it also has the copy effect. So that was the only one I put a question mark next to. For the moment, I need to make cuts, so we're going to move him to the sideboard as well. I want these in there because there is bounce spells, return a non-permanent to their owner's hand, so that kind of has, I love modes. Modes are amazing. That is a good point, copying your wheels with Ral. Yeah, but I had to make cuts, and I have to steer away from it. So there's another thing that's going to be controversial a little bit. I am going to drop my Dragon's Approach because one thing I was running into last night and today when I was gold fishing this is with 132 cards in my hand, I was getting too many Dragon's Approach. Like the thing is the dragons you get out aren't the game winners. What you're doing with this is different than most other Dragon's Approach decks. Those you're just trying to cast them as soon as you get them. And then you're hopefully get the 5, remove them, get your dragon. This, you just exile them, and it doesn't matter if they kill your commander later, there's still only 1 mana to come out. So it's a lot of setup, and to get in what you're doing is planning to get your other stuff that wins you the game. So City on Fire, the Mayhem Dominus, Torbrand, Thrumming Stone, like getting the other pieces to make it go crazy. So hey Josh, how's it going, buddy? At 25 and 130, I was getting too many. So I think I'm dropping this down to 20. So, it's Alt 2. Let's get that. Alt 2 gets that down a little bit. So gonna test it out and see if 20 is enough. I can easily pop more back in there if I want to. But right now is like that. It just felt like I was getting too much in there. And this isn't like your typical Dragon's Approach deck. The Dragon's Approach part is kind of the bonus to get other parts. And the reason why I did Dragon's Approach is because of this fortell stuff. To be able to set this up to make it more of a surprise. Because that I mentioned it last night. The problem with Dragon's Approach decks is you're seeing, oh shit, he has 3 in this graveyard. Oh, now he has 4. Okay, we need to do something about this. We got to kill him. This, I don't need to cast a single Dragon's Approach until I'm ready to do my thing. So I could just have them all sitting in exile, and then boom, everybody's dead at once. Now that might be dangerous if people are seeing I have a whole bunch of these sitting up on my exile board. But I feel like this is the best route to go with this. No, I'm not playing Furnace of Wrath. It's just a bad card now. Like, I mean, it kind of is because it hurts you as well. Okay, so that was, I think that's it from up top there. I want everything else that's in here. Okay, we dropped that down a little bit. We'll come back to, oh no, I did want, Chemister's Insight was one card I was going to hit up. I think Jory I also wrote on here. Oh, maybe I didn't. I didn't do that one yet, but that is one I'm kind of have my eye on. Leisure Shredder is really good because it's everybody being able to cycle through. I think Lowry said last night, he's like, oh, I wouldn't cut the 1-drops, and then I put them back in. I think I might cut them again. back and forth. Because I'm going to try to take advantage of the other stuff, and I want instant speed stuff more than the sorceries. Faithless Looting's a little different because it is you're drawing 2 cards and discarding 2 cards, so you could fill your graveyard up easier with your Dragon's Approach stuff. So that one for now is staying in. Might get a cut here in a little bit, but let's get down to our last 10, and then we can start working through the other stuff. Monogeyser, I think it's an excellent card. I need to figure out cuts there, and I think that's one of them, because even still, if I do the fortell, it's going to cost 3. But you're most likely getting a crap ton. But I think I have enough mana doublers here. Jessica's Will was one I had my eye on, but the drawing the 3 card, or being able to play the 3 spells, I think is really good in this. Neheb is just going to be crazy. Tons of mana, like consistent with your Dragon's Approach stuff. So I want that in there. Urbrask, of course, and Burgee is just ridiculous as well. So all these are for sure staying in. Then we move down to the Monarchs. Now, normally 15 to 25, we're already below. Oh, no, that's main idea. Monarchs. 13 to 17. So we're already at the border. But here's where I'm going to actually make cuts. So Chromatic, I'm getting rid of my 3-drop rocks. So Chromatic, Cursed, I love Cursed, and Decanter. All 3 of those were in the 3-drop Monarch tournament. I think I even hit up Fable the Mirror Breaker. Yep, I did. I had Fable on there. I love it, but again, I'm having to make some weird cuts in this deck because of how many of the Dragon's Approach stuff I have in there. So now we are down to 13 cuts left. Now let's move down to our removal. We added Chandra's Incinerator, but I do want to hit up Raven Form. I know I can exile an artifact, but I don't like the sorcery speed part of that. I'm going to get rid of Cyclonic Rift. I know it's really good, and I should have it in here. If I start getting my ass kicked a lot, I might pop it back in, but I've used Cyclonic Rift a lot, and it gets boring. We've talked about that before, so we're going to move that to the sideboard. There's plenty of decks that I've built that have Cyclonic Rift in it, and we're just going to put that there on the side. Was there anything else off of this? I think my next spot is direct damage. Personally, I never found decks that use many copies as you want, all the fun. But if you do like them, that's all the power to you. Okay, cool. Yeah. Have as many copies. Yeah, no, this is the first deck I've done have as many copies. I have my Magda with the 7 dwarves. But yeah, so that, like I said, this isn't going to be your typical like other Dragon's Approach decks where I was looking at some forums where they're like 30 to 35, and I'm like, what else do you put in that deck? I mean, you're just going off your commander. This deck is a little different because it isn't just based around this. I have 3 dragons in here. There's a good chance that they could end up in my hand, and Dragon's Approach doesn't do anything. But the point of this is the damage multipliers is what I'm going after there. Okay, so we're at 111. Let's get down to spell bonus stuff. Thermo was one I wanted to hit. I like that it hits all opponents, but I like this. This is part of my removal, so that's why that one's staying there. So we're gonna get rid of that one, and I think everything else was staying in there, and that was staying. Okay, so we got ourselves down to 10 cards. That was a quick 20 card cut, 24 card cut in, what are we at? 19 minutes. Now the hard part. Cutting 10 cards of what I have left. So I did add Wheel of Misfortune back in, only because I needed, what I was running into problems with is my hand was just empty. That could be something I maybe just stick with the 3 that I had before. Let's go back to our draw stuff. So draw 12 to 18. These are bonuses off of casting. Jory, I like it. But sheesh. So here's my ones that I gain off of drawing. I like, this is a second spell, so it doesn't have to be an instant or sorcery. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that you get off of casting. I'm not like most girls. I'm a unique flower. I'm not like other Dragon's Approach. I'm very different. Very unique. Feel like this. So Pyromancer's Goggles. This was different because it's a mono rock built in on it. This I used a lot because it was tapping. It wasn't like I needed to tap more to get the copy. So I really liked this card in here. I used this a lot when I was doing the gold fishing. So all of these did work. Like everything here can't really go anywhere. My only thought is maybe getting down to 2 dragons, but if I get those in my hand, I'm kind of screwed with that. This is nice option if my hand is gone, refilling my hand. I did actually cast this just straight up because this was getting a lot of rocks and stuff out there. You know, your gold fishing, you don't know if you'd actually be getting more treasures off of it. But yeah, so I feel like 3 is a good number. Now we just need to make 10 cuts. Let's get Jory. I do like it's the 2 spells, but a lot of times what I was doing is setting up. So I probably get 1 draw off of that. The thing I like about Archmage, Niv, Lunar, the Leisure does a similar thing. So Leisure was kind of on my cutting block, but this is for every player. So that's kind of the nice thing. But these, you can get it off of all your, it doesn't just happen once, you know, once a turn. So I love those a lot more. I've got instant, Jessica. All right, so what else did I have in my notes? Did I have anything else? Cyclonic, Chromatic, Fable. I think I hit everything. Oh, I did put Aether Spouts. I do love this card so much. I'm going to do sideboard. I did have that on my list of cards to get rid of. Ooh, why is this not in my removal as well? Gosh, that hits so many things. Removal. Because it is any target with that. And I felt like there was another one somewhere in here that I had. 7 or more cards. What is his backside again? Draw cards equal to the number of cards you have in your hand. You have no maximum hand size. As long as this is there, return all non-Phyrexing creatures to their hand. May cast. Oh, yeah, that's pretty sick actually on the other side. It's really good. All right, 8 cards. Do I just cut 8 land and call it quits? These were key in this, and actually Urza's Saga helped. So thank you, haters out there. I'm talking UI Bukaki. And who else was the other hater? There's somebody else that was hating on the Urzas. And I didn't have it in there, and I'm glad I do now. Because I was able to get more ramp with that with the 2 drops. Or the Soul Ring or the Mana Crypt. Because those are pretty key. The 2 color, like being able to get the fortell out is very key in this. Okay, so we got 8 cuts to do. So we have removal there. We have 9 removal. 7 to 15. Yes, Urza Saga. I agree. I love Urza Saga. It almost didn't get in this deck. But then we had haters, and then I was like, oh, actually, I have enough that I could use this. Get out of here, Josh. Stop it with the Team Forest Walk. Team Swamp Walk. Maybe I just stick with my... Because there is a chance that you don't hit this. But the wheels are nice to fill those hands back up. So is there other stuff I can hit? Jessica's Will. Opt. Brainstorm. The 1-drops are very nice. If I got rid of the 1-drops, that would get me down 1, 2, 3 cards. But man, those are nice to have, especially early game stuff. That's the problem is, gosh, why, Adam, turn off your phone next time. Text messages. Can't be getting text messages. Team Trailblazer. What am I drinking? I'm drinking an iced drink. Because it's a Thursday. Last night I actually had a beverage, so. And this one, it's kind of interesting. It's lemon lime. These are friggin' delicious. These are 5 calories, and it just tastes like a Sprite. And then I have a backup one that is grape raspberry. There's your advertisement for today. It's my beer of choice. All right, let's move some stuff. Again, these are all going to sideboard. You do stuff, and then if it doesn't work out, if things are clunky or whatever, then you just bring them back. So what we're going to do, second spell, so that's focused on that second spell thing too. It feels weird doing this. I'm going to sideboard him. And then we are going to sideboard. It feels gross doing that with those. Sideboard. What are we at still? We got sorceries. Instants, we're down to 11. So we're not as focused on the goading part on other people's turns, which is fine because I killed Renshai. I killed Rashmi to make a not as dick of a deck. And that was because I was playing on everybody's turn. So maybe it's fine that I have the instance down here at 11. We'll have to play this out and see. All right, so we got 4 cuts left. Ooh, we might really keep this under an hour. Deflecting Swat is free anyways, for most part. Dockside's going to be good later. What do we got for a removal? I might hit some of these removals up. Reality Shift. We'll move that one to side. I want to keep Chaos Warp because I need to hit other things that aren't creatures. No, I don't need a shot. No, I don't need a shot here. I have to eat dinner yet. That Malort would kick my ass. Let's see. 1, 2. So we got 8 removal. These are nice little 1-drop removals. We got 3 cards to cut. 36 land. What is our curve? Let's check that out. So really high on that because of the Drake. Wow, look at that. We're really low here. 2.23. So I think we get rid of a Wheel of Misfortune. If we are lacking the cards in the hand, that one will probably be one of the first ones to come back. But the risk of not being able to draw, I mean, you could just go really high with the numbers. The thing is, you are taking a lot of damage in this deck with certain things. Aether Flux is really key to get at some. Not key, it's just nice to get because I was making myself take damage with. I know I mentioned it too on the cast, but this is the first time I'll have Ancient Tomb in a deck because I don't normally put it in decks. But this one really is focusing on the 2 colorless part. Gosh dang it. It's like they know I'm recording. Well, normally I put my phone on airplane mode. All right, 2 cuts left. Any suggestions? Anybody have any personal ones that they want out that's not sarcastic? Love. That's nice. Jessica's, I'm leaning at you a little bit. I like you. You control your commander. It always ends up getting cut at the end. Braid of Fire is going to be key. Heb. Deflecting is always good, especially since we don't really have a lot of protection in this deck. So the interesting thing is cuts. No, I can't cut a land. Cuts. What is wrong with you? Lunar Mystic is a bit clunky. I can see that. But the thing I was running into the problems with is my hand. But I can see that I don't like the extra pain. Like I like this, of course, because you just get it, and you just get it here. And kind of here. All right. I'll take that suggestion. That one's going to sideboard. 2. Oh, we just need 1. 1 left. 1 left. And then you know what I'll do a quick thing of once we do this one? We'll do a quick little goldfish run through so you can kind of see how it all plays out a little bit without having another player. I love these guys in here. I know they just seem silly, but this is almost like a removal in a way. And then this is kicking into that goading. So if you're casting spells, you're making people not attack you. Cut a land. Go down to 35. 36 is normally my lowest. I have been going to 37 lately. No, don't do Saga. Get out of here. Stop that business. Anything. I've pretty much hit all the things that I've always been like, maybe this one, maybe that one. Vandal Blast. Nice thing is the Overload will be cheaper. Chaos Warp. All these are fun. We need Mono Rocks. Deflecting SWAT. Yes. Frantic Search being an instant is nice. Jessica. Yeah, it's good. Man, I don't know what my last cut's going to be. I don't want to... Well, the curve is really low, so I guess I could go down one land and call her quits, and then we'll just do a goldfish quick. Which land to get rid of? Each player draws a card and then discards. That does make other people discard as well. Let's get rid of Geyer. I use War Room a lot. 2, and then you tap this. This is 3, so this is technically 4. But the discarding, I could put stuff. So let's move War Room to sideboard, and let's get it going. Okay, so there's our 100 cards. We got it done. There's the deck. Let's try to do a little play test quick because I got a little bit of time. We did that in 30 minutes. It's not bad. All right, so I'm not going to do our normal CommanderSmith rules where we draw, whatever, because I don't know what player number I am, but this is a nice starting hand. So we'll draw our card for turn. Let's fetch up something here. Well, I already got my Volcanic in hand. So do I just go get my shock? I think I do. So let's see. We're going to have enough, so I could probably not just take the hit and just go get a mountain. Because I'm going to have enough there. Close and shuffle. Throw out a Soul Ring, and then go to the next turn. All right, so now we'll throw mountain around this. That'll come into play untapped. So we're going to have 1, 2. We're going to have just 1 float in there. So we're going to do that. You do that, that. We get him out. Turn 2. Normally it's a turn 3. I'll be honest. Like normally I was hitting turn 3. We'll throw out the Volcanic. So now we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna go to this exiled. Protection. Well, we'll get another little guy exiled. So now we have 1 there. So then we hit next turn. All right. So we drop our other land. Now, Stormkiln. Whenever you cast, we get token or treasures. So we might want to just get this guy out. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. We keep our reds. We get Stormkiln out. Then you go 1, 2. These come out for 6. 6 damage. We would goad something. And then you get 2 treasure tokens. Use those 2 treasure tokens to throw out another one. So I've been putting these on the side so I can keep track of them. Then we hit next turn up. Urza Saga. That'll be nice to, I guess, get more mana, but we're kind of running low on. So we're probably going to hit this and choose this 3 times. So we'll 2 it out to there. And so it's going to be 3. So we're going to use 1, 2, and 3. So we have enough to do Dockside as well like that. So we're going to do that. And that would be there. And then on the other person's turn, I would go boop, boop. Oh, I needed 3. So Dockside would stay in the hand. Oh, no, there's my 3rd. Versus. And I would choose the mode 3 times. So I'd draw, draw, draw. That's a pretty good one. And then you'd get a treasure token off of that. Refilled the hand. Then we got a Sublime Epiphany. That's kind of nice. And we go our next turn. So that one worked out pretty good. There isn't the game winner I didn't hit per se. So this one would be like a late game, just grinding it out kind of thing. Because we're not going to get to hitting the dragon's approach there. So let's try one more time, or maybe give it a little bit more, a couple more runs here. Not a good starting hand, so I would mulligan. I want to have 3. Do one more. All right, there's my 3 land. Let's draw for turn. So this is more of what the starting hand or game would be. Then we go to next turn. Plaza is any of your legendary, only cast legendary spells. They're all Plaza. This does have the fortell on it, so we would fortell this. Next turn. Let's get that out. Throw him. Next turn. Now we have 4. We have our dragon in our hand, which kind of sucks. So we would fortell, and say go. Now we have 5. I would probably fortell, and go fetch a land. Field library, let's just grab whatever. So we have 1 out there. Close and shuffle. Okay, so now we're getting down there with our hand. So our next turn, this is what I'm talking about. You just throwing out a whole bunch of things. And obviously it's going to be different when you have other people in there. So what I would probably do in this situation is fortell this guy. So 1, 2. We got 3 left. Then I would probably windfall. I could fortell this one as well, but I think I'd do windfall here. So discard, and let's just assume somebody has 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see, now you're starting to build everything up. So now we could fortell this guy. Music gets loud on this song. Turn it down. So now we have our 5 and haven't even cast a spell. So we don't even look scary at this point. So that would have been 2 mana there. So then we have 3 sitting there. So what we could do on this turn is either fortell this guy, or we just get out another blocker. And then the next turn is when shit gets crazy. So your next turn, you go 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess we could only do 3 at a time. So maybe what I would have done that last turn is hit 1 because I didn't have enough red land. And then this turn, 1, 2, 3. We hit another 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then it would leave me with 2 blue. I don't know if I threw a land out there yet or not. Probably didn't. So we'd have 3. So I probably would fortell this guy. So right there we did 4, 8, 12, 16 damage because of the multiplier here. So I think it's going to be fun, actually. This is going to be... It's a lot better than what I had it before. Let me just say that. The Meat Force wasn't working its magic. It's nice, but I like to have 3 land. Woo. See what I'm saying is, even at 20 dragons approach, I don't need to have the 5 because the dragons aren't the thing that are going to win the game. It's really just the bonus you're getting to be able to cast them for 1 all at once as almost a surprise. This one would be a hand I would keep. We got boom, boom, and boom. So we draw our card for turn. Ooh, Urgy? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Let's just play this one out a little. Prismatic Vista. We have our shock in our hand. So actually what I would probably do is play the shock tapped. And then I would just go to my next turn. Then I would do Prismatic. Go get my duel. Where's my Tundra or Taiga? No, Volcanic Island. Volcanic. Where are you? Oh, you can find it. Volcanic. Grab it, throw it out there, close and shuffle. I would have lost the life there. So we had 2 off of that. The problem is I'm going to have to do a bounce back, but that's okay. So then we hit the next turn. Oh, well, we got that. We would start setting things up. So we get Edgin out. Next turn. Oh, we got a wheel in there. So 3. I think I would just straight up cast Burgy. Yeah, I would cast Burgy, play this, bring this back to the hand. Next turn, now we're setting things up. Ooh. Oof. Okay, so every spell, whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red until blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if I cast things, I'll get stuff back. So we're gonna set things up. We'll go. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably this and this, and then go to my next turn. Then for 3, get this out. We still have 3 city, 4 technically. So then I would probably throw in that and something to refill my hand. Oh, we got another one because of Bergie's thing there. So maybe it's worth casting something to double. This could be interesting here. Here's an interesting thought with this. So we cast, so we have 1 floating. Let's just depict it as that. So we use that 1 floating. We use this red and whatever, doesn't matter. This one. Now we're copying Wheel of Fortune. So now we're stuffing our graveyard. 1, 2, well, just discard it all. Then we're going to draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Discard them all because you're doing the spell twice. Get over here. Throw all these in the graveyard. Graveyard. I'm sure I can just right click and do it too, but we're just doing it this way. Then we draw 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now we cast 2 spells. So now we have 2 floating. Wait, not the copy. 1 floating because it's casting. 1 floating. Throw this out there. The 1 floating, we use this. And do we cast this? Sure. So that gets us 4. Now we have 1 floating again. Use the 1 floating to hit this up. And now we go get Niv Mizzet. It comes out. We still have 1 floating again. With 3 mana open there. So we could do it again. And then you're drawing cards. And then now the cycle just really starts happening. So this is how I kind of envisioned it all going. This card, so the copying was really good here. When I was talking about editing, and I'm like, oh, a copy, and I don't want to use that. Really good when you get the Mono Rock. But by itself, this was going to refill my hand. You know, this just comboed really nice together. Not infinite combo, but a nice little combo there to fill up your graveyard. And in the process, you did 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 points of damage, and that doesn't include the Niv Mizzet damage that would be on top of that after casting more spells. So, yeah, this is gonna be a fun deck. I'm very, very excited to get this one going. So not your typical Dragons approach. Yeah, it is great against nobody. It is. It just you know, it's awesome. It's a good gold fishing deck. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys joined me on this. I'm glad to get this bad boy done. Thank you guys for the suggestions. Thank you guys for watching. A reminder, tomorrow, Friday, Lowry and I are doing battle boxes with March of the Machines set boosters. So that, Josh, you can definitely buy us drinks there if you'd like to. And it's a Friday. So Renshaw, your favorite Friday. Hey, side note, I can't play the long buttons on Friday. I can't do, my Rebecca Black, the whole thing, but I can do,
It's Friday.
I can do that. But if I go any longer than like 5 seconds, we won't get monetized on that. So I have to stop it. So you're lucked out. But all right, gang, that should do it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys tomorrow. No, stupid song. Nice. All right, gang. You guys have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya. Bye. Suck up.
A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
I'll just hit buttons at the end of the videos. That's how I'll do it.
Hello, boobies.
All right.